It's all covered in today's China Truths.
The Industrial and Commercial Bank of China, ICBC, wiped depositors' accounts to zero overnight. Money sitting in the bank suddenly vanished, terrifying and surreal. The bank's app showed zero assets. Countless people woke up to deleted balances and vanished wealth management products. Overnight, millions of yuan in accounts were gone. ICBC's systems appeared to collapse end-to-end. Savings and deposit figures evaporated in an instant. The bank blamed a technical fault, but a failure at this scale is nothing short of chilling. The account balance reads zero, but the credit card debt is still there. Panic tip: buy a safe at home. Every time there's a fault, customers lose money. When will our debts get a fault too? As a banker, I'm stunned. What cuts deepest is this: loans and liabilities remain intact while deposits disappear. That tells us two things: the deposit system and the loan system are separate, and while you can't escape what you owe, there's no guarantee your savings will survive. Late on October 29th into the early hours of October 30th, 2025, videos showed ICBC users' assets wiped to zero. Across the country, customers who logged into mobile and online banking saw savings, balances, wealth management, and fund holdings show 0.00 yuan. Some even reported missing credit card info. The outage lasted more than 10 hours and sparked widespread panic. People opened the app and felt their hands go cold. Deposits gone, mortgages still there. Why did this bug only zero deposits and not liabilities? How can China's biggest bank allow an error like this? Scrolling through social feeds, I saw people everywhere with accounts wiped. This is no longer just a technical glitch. It's a collapse of trust. We put money in banks for stability. Today, accounts turn to dust, and people go from property owners to penniless in seconds. Funds evaporate. The only consolation is that debts remain. Someone still owes, but your savings vanish. This isn't game currency. Today it's zero. Tomorrow it could read 1 billion. Like someone playing a simulation with other people's lives. ICBC is the country's biggest bank, not an arcade. So 3 questions to the bank. Are your servers reliable? Why can a profit giant not upgrade its systems? And when you clear accounts, who compensates us? Can we withdraw the cash? Can we actually access our money? You say technicians are working, often. But what about the woman buying vegetables who scans her code and nothing comes out? Will the shop let her leave with groceries? A bank can suffer a fault, but trust cannot be zeroed. If another bug appears and you actually cleared loans as well, I might have to give you a standing ovation. But until then, people are terrified, and rightfully so. After the massive incident yesterday, the app cleared all our balances, yet there wasn't a single official statement, not even one text message from the bank. So instead of waiting in pain, I chose short pain over long pain. I closed my account. At the counter, I said, "You cleared us to zero yesterday, right?" What a joke. They stayed silent. You know what? That silence made me even more determined to leave. If it was really a cyber attack or some other issue, the least they could do was send a message and explain. But they said nothing. Absolutely nothing. This exposes a terrifying flaw in the banking system. Your money sits in the bank, and then suddenly, it's gone. No warning, no explanation. Who wouldn't break into a cold sweat? And the scariest part? You think it's only ICBC, but any bank could face the same fate. Have you seen the news? The Bank of China, ICBC, the Agricultural Bank of China, China Construction Bank, and the Bank of Communications all announced the cancellation of their supervisory committees. What does that mean for us depositors? Anyone knows? When ICBC crashed, the internet exploded. Chinese netizens flooded social media with panic. One said, "Withdraw now, this is terrifying. What if it becomes real?" Another joked, maybe just a drill before the real thing. Someone else warned, if deposits can be wiped, keep your certificates and passbooks safe. Another fumed, zeroed overnight and not even an apology. ICBC acts like it owns us. Others wrote, don't panic, just a rehearsal. It's only numbers, they can disappear anytime. Too scary, I'm withdrawing cash. And maybe today a drill, tomorrow reality. Not long ago, I experienced something similar. I withdrew cash from Bank A and deposited it into an ATM at Bank B. The first deposit went fine, but the second was short by 1,000 yuan. I called for help, but staff kept dodging responsibility. 4 days later, they called back, saying, no problem. Did you count the money yourself? Ridiculous. Many depositors had their money wiped out. I rushed to check my loan card, and guess what? Not a single cent missing. So deposits disappear, but debts remain? They call it a technical fault. Who are they kidding? Loans never get cleared. No matter how big the fault, you still owe the bank. They'll always come to collect. Be honest. How many of us remember our exact balance or credit card debt? I can only recall roughly to the nearest 100. So when they say they restored the data, how can we be sure it's the same? Maybe a few yuan don't matter individually, but for the biggest bank in China, small errors across millions of accounts add up to astronomical sums. And what if you're the careful type who records every cent? If their restored balance doesn't match your record, who will believe you? Who will prove it? Thinking about that gives me chills. My advice, as you get older, buy a safe and keep cash at home. Forget the tiny interest the bank offers. When you really need your money, you might not be able to get it. Have you heard about what happened at the Agricultural Bank of Hunan? An elderly woman was critically ill. Her daughter tried to withdraw money for treatment, but after entering the wrong PIN 3 times, the bank locked the account. They refused service because the mother wasn't present. In desperation, she brought her dying mother to the bank for face recognition and ID verification. After all that, they still couldn't withdraw the money. The mother died right there from the stress. This may sound extreme, but it reveals a deep rift between banking services and real human needs. Where exactly is the problem? When a major state-owned bank fails like this, it shakes everyone's faith. I'm sure ICBC's stock price dropped, and many people rushed to close their accounts. So what now? If the system recovers, fine. But what if it doesn't? How will you prove what you had? The poor might not care, they have little to lose. But what about those with real savings? So here's the takeaway. Open accounts at multiple banks. Don't keep everything in one place. Save with paper certificates so you have physical proof. Otherwise, if your money gets zeroed, you'll have no evidence and no one to turn to. Today I went to withdraw 20,000 yuan. The teller asked, "What's the money for?" I said, "What does it matter?" They replied, "Our policy requires a reasonable explanation for large withdrawals." The manager, seeing I was upset, added, "If you can't explain, maybe you'd like to take a loan instead?" Seriously? Ordinary people like us are just doomed when we deal with banks like this. Here's the thing. Listen closely. We just wanted to withdraw our money. My father was critically ill. It was already so hard. They kept sending us back and forth. I brought every document, even my father's ID. Everyone, pay attention. I even brought our household registration book. Yet they still demanded more proof. We just needed money for treatment, but the bank refused to release a single yuan. What kind of bank does this? Look at how they treat ordinary people. Cold, arrogant, heartless. I can't wait any longer. My father needs this money to stay alive. That money inside, it's mine. So I asked them, whose money is it? The chairman's? The government's? Why can't I touch my own savings? You're tracing the source of my money? My child sent it from Shanghai. I'm just sending it back. What's wrong with that? Still, they talk about daily limits. Only 4,000 yuan per day. I had to split a 10,000 yuan transfer over several days. The sick can't wait that long. Who will take responsibility if someone dies waiting? Where is the law in this country? Give me a straight answer. What kind of law is this? Ordinary people are furious. 24 hours later, the situation only got worse. All investment and wealth management data were wiped out. Balances don't match. Hundreds of yuan missing here and there. One user said even in Iran, people lost everything. A Beijing netizen whispered, "We don't dare to speak." Another said he posted online and immediately got a landline call demanding deletion. A Sichuan netizen complained, "No explanation, no notice. They treat our money like a joke." A Beijing user raged, "We poor people have so little, yet they change things at will. Such a massive bug, not even one official statement. Repairs until the 3rd? Ridiculous." Someone else said, "The wording feels terrifying." Another added, "Is this a stress test? Are they testing how far they can push us?" And someone joked darkly, "Funny how deposits can't be restored, but loans were fixed instantly." The whole thing feels like a terrifying rehearsal. Maybe one day everything will be confiscated. A lifetime of hard work gone in an instant. Analysts warn that China's economy keeps sinking, the property market has collapsed, and a new financial crisis is looming. A wave of bank failures has already begun. In 2024 alone, over 200 small and medium banks were shut down, more than in the past 3 years combined. A financial tsunami is forming. As China's elite-owned banks squeeze the lifeblood of ordinary citizens, they are now devouring themselves amid an economic meltdown.
Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. We will keep reporting on the COVID surge in China, so don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell to get the latest videos. And thank you for tuning in.